We have ancestry of Kumam from Ethiopia.
True.
And we have ancestry of LUO from South Sudan. So these are two separate people.
Completely.
Then where do we place Kumam? The Teker or the LUO? Do we go with ancestry? Do we go with assimilation? The debate continues. Is Kumam member of the Teker or member of the LUO? My name is Kogot Peter, LUO Ambassador, Eastern Central Africa, and I'm here with...
I'm Rayu Moses Matthew. I'm an elder, one of the Kumam elders. I belong to a clan, a Kumam clan of the Ikaruok. And mine is a small Ikaruok of Aleto.
How many clans are in Kumam?
Okay, there are 6 major clans, but of these 6 major clans, you find that of each, like I was telling you, I'm a member of the Ikaruok clan. Now there are several in the Ikaruok, there are smaller groups in the Ikaruok clan, but there are 6 major clans in Kumam.
Okay, could you give me a brief history of Kumam or Joma Kumam?
Okay, brief history about the Kumam that I can give you is that the Kumam originated from the southern islands of Ethiopia, and the historians claim that the Kumams migrated from the northeastern part of Ethiopia, that's Abyssinia, about 16th century AD. The Kumam belong to Ateker people like the Iteso, the Karimojongs, the J, and the Langi. These are members of the Ateker groupings. The Kumams are referred to as the Nilohamat or plain Nilotes. And when they migrated, we were told that they migrated under the leadership of one of their great Kumam great leaders called Asonya. And these Ateker groups entered Uganda from northern east. We call it Kide. When you say northeast, we are Kide side, and settled in Karamoja in the 700 time. And this Ateker group had 6 major clans, like I told you shortly, and namely the Ikaruok. The Ikaruok, these Ikaruok members believed at time and up to now that these are leaders and fighters. Majorly that time, if you are in Ikaruok, leadership would come from there, and they are fighters, defense of the entire Kumam clan. Then we have Ikomolo. The Ikomolo, they refer to them, or the way foretellers, the people who tell whether they're going to, we have the fortune, or what is, if something is wrong, or if there's a lot of drought, you'd rather consult them. That what could be happening? They are foretellers. You tell, okay, it's because of this and that kind of thing. Now, then also we have the third clan is the Irarak. These are gatherers. These are the ones who are collecting food. They're the ones who are certain that this fruit is edible, this fruit is poisonous, and it's not edible. So they were gathering, and they're the ones responsible for seeing that people have the food and so on. And also majorly dealing with the fishing. So they determine what to be eaten. And that kind. Then we have the Goria. The Gorias are builders, constructors, designers, craft work. So the different Kumam craft works were coming from the Goria clan, because they're the ones who design, baskets are designed like this, mats are designed like this, or that kind of thing. And then they would design curves and so on and so on. Then there's the 5th group is the clan is the Atekok. These are peacemakers, mediators. Whenever there will be conflicts in the community or in the clans, they will come around to do mediation. They are peacemakers. And then the last one is the Inomo. The Inomo are physicians, medicine men. They are the ones, even up to now, if you got a dislocation, a broken kidney, others, well, while even people went to hospital, even after they have done everything with the hospital, people still believe they come home and they want a normal clan member to touch them, to make them have better heal. Medicine, all different types of medicine, local medicines around for treating measles, treating what, all these were done by the normal clan. So you'll find that that is the grouping, the clans. The Kumams assert that their language derived from Ateso dialect, Dome. Dome is Ateso. We say when you say Dome, you talk about Ateso. And they later on adopted the Luo dialect, which is the Luo, when the Kumams came in contact with the Luo people from the area around Mount Otukei and Wela in today Karamoja territory. So that is how they derived, they got in the now language they speak. The present Kumam, which looks like Luo. And the Kumams were originally pastoralists. They reared cattle, sheep, goats, and chicken. But today they are partly pastoral and partly agriculture. Their staple food then was millet, kal, and sorghum, bell, and sweet potatoes, kata, and then cassava, muongo, and then yam. This yam is obatu. Yam is obatu. With the peas, ngor, as then beans came on later on. But you do have aligide, which was part of peas, the green one, gram green, the green gram, the green peas, something like that. As common source, this is their common source. Besides greens that you could pick around from the skinny and eat them. Land was communally owned. The land was communally owned by the clan. Any member of the clan was fully entitled to use it, and to use it. You just use it, and you don't say this is my piece, and so use it when you. And then, but the challenge was that women and children did not own land at the time, and the women majorly owned utensils, which included big pots. In Kumam, big pots they are gulu. Big pots are gulu. Small pots they call it tatany. These are small pots. The one for eating, even the plates, and then the plates made of clay. The tatany. The other small pots are called tabo. Tabo is a small pot. The one they use for drinking, and boiling beans or something like cooking. Called tabo. Then the plates made of clay is the tatany. They are made of clay and burnt and something like that. As well as the variety of baskets. Women would wear a variety of baskets, different sizes and so on. And of course, these baskets would even include smaller granaries that are in the house called tuya. To call them tuya. I don't know whether you are tuya. And then also mats, a group of mats, different design of mats for bed, for drying food, for sitting, for doing meals and so on, all those. So women owned those. Now, marriage was conducted between families that were known to one another for quite a long time. So you would just not marry from anywhere. Now your family would be related and live with the other family for a long time. You are aware of the discipline in their home, how they live and so on. So you would marry from that home because you are sure about the type of member you are bringing to this home, or the woman who is going to be married will go along in the way, the style of your home. The activities that brought people together, majorly at that time, were dance ceremonies. And that brought people together. Mielo Bull, there's one called Mielo Bull. That's the dance for drum. Then there's a Koso. Koso is young men and women will go for it, where they are going to sessions and looking for women and something like that. The dance particularly is for making you look around. So then Bangi is a twin dance. Then Will, when you are going to either you have had some children and now the woman is supposed to initiate the clan permanently, we call it Will. And they use oils and so on for confirming you as a member of the family. And then Mielo Court, dance. When the rains would delay for over sometimes, people would jointly go and dance to appease the gods of that time, of the gods of rain, so that the rain should be there at that time. And then also death ceremonies would bring people together. And then birth and naming ceremonies. When the child was produced in a home, no, you just don't name it. After 3 days, the naming ceremony takes place, and that gathers clan members around to go and witness the naming of a child. So they are knowing the child. Because when the child is produced, the child stays inside for 3 days without coming out. So the third day when they name the child is when the child now brought out to the people, that we have now got a child. and then of course then marriage ceremonies, among others. Those are the activities that would bring people together. We had a loose political structure under the clan leadership known as Wega Teker, small Wega Teker, small. They were the owners of a Teker. Then other people of importance in the societies were Chel. They know, for example, the Chel is one home of different, one man's home with different now sons, and they're married, so they together called Chel, or from one grandfather. Now you see one home of quite a number of people, and then they enclose. That time they used to enclose homes, so they call it Chel. They were enclosing homes to defend themselves from bird people, from animals, and so on. So then there would be a gate for you to come to that. So that's one Chel. So there would be a leader of that kind, and then also leaders of dancing groups would also be people that are respected in the community. Now the leaders of Asonia homes, also we call them Asonia homes. If you know, homes are like this, the Chels I was telling you. They're living there, so here is one, another one is there, something like that. If you have ever passed the Karamojong type of place, you see, they have those sort of things. And then Wegi Chel, the owners of that, the one who governs that one Chel or something. So those are the people respected in the game. And then the Chel, I'm trying to tell you, I've been explained to you, comes from like one home, Dogola. Dogola, one home. What a Chel, call it Dogola. That's all the people of that home. You come from, if all of you come from me, then you will call it Dogola or Chel. People of the same house. And then the leaders of Kikroson, different those ones. And then those are the people, their jobs were majorly, of course, to try to put, they would do, they were responsible for maintenance of law and order, and as well as general administration, general administration of the people either in the cell, the Chel, or after Chel, or in the clan. Now if we're a Karwok, then there must be somebody overall, and with some people to do discipline and general administration. And when the British came, of course, now, the British picked up the existing administration structure that was there, and they only renamed it from the village thing that I was telling you, a home. Then they started having a clan chief. The British called them clan chief, and then sometimes they would call it, in our language, we call it one lobo. One lobo, a clan chief. Then you would go to a sub-parish chief, you go to parish chief, then you go to the sub-county chief. In Uganda, sometimes people call it Gomborola chief, sub-county chief, then county chief. We used to have county chiefs when the British came and took over the administration. So that's the structure they took. And that is a summary of the Kumam. The brief history of the Kumam, that I'm, of course, not going far about other things, their marriages, details, and their burial ceremonies. No. But this is just to trying to tell you where the Kumams came from, and how the language now shifted from the Karamojong, Itaso-looking language to now Luo speaking like.
I will ask you that about that
language. Okay, you'll ask about that. Come on.
Kumam
so that's it. Kumam Nyai. Then when they say when they say, you say two times. You say, when I ask you, when you tell me Kumam Nyai, you say Enyai. Then again I say Kumam Nyai, then you answer Enyai Naka. Because I say Kumam Nyai, Enyai. Kumam Nyai, Enyai Naka. That kind of thing.
Could you sing for me the anthem of Kumam?
I have not mastered it, I must say it.
Okay.
Because it is a new, the Kumam chief was inaugurated just about 3 months ago, I won't put it.
Yeah,
but the anthem was, there were several debates on which anthem would take on, until the ones who were governing the thing said, okay, now this is the one which was launched that time when the Kumam flag was being flown and the Kumam national anthem. Wana take me Kumam. That's what they say.
Right.
They all
So
song.
I believe you're well placed in the ranks of the Kumam leadership.
I don't want to first of all say like that, because when you say well placed, then maybe I would be lying, because I don't want usually to lie. And then I am in my clan, I am the chief advisor and responsible of the constitution of my clan. That's a Karwoka later. In my clan, I'm not even the clan Wenebuku, not the big man in the clan. Because I was, from all the time people were doing elections, I was very much in government work. And you know, it's also not very good to do that when you are again clan leader. So I'm not a very, but as for older persons, I am the chairman of all the persons of Kabaramaido district.
Okay. So there are two things that are really, really important in the definition of a community. There is ancestry, which defines who you are from the roots. And for the case of Kumam, we have some sort of assimilation that tend to divert the identity a little bit. Because it's the culture that defines a community. And in a greater sense, it's the culture that holds to the definition of who we are. Now, we have ancestry of Kumam from Ethiopia.
It's true.
And we have ancestry of Luo from South Sudan. So these are two separate people.
Completely.
Then at some point, we have Kumam coming into contact with the Luo, and to a greater extent being swallowed, or rather being assimilated into an aspect of Luo culture. Let's narrow it to language for this.
Language, yes, especially language for this case.
Especially language for this. There could be more, but I'm not sure, so I'll only talk about the language. Where do we place Kumam? The Teker or the Luo? Do we go with ancestry? Do we go with assimilation?
Well, if you ask me that question, could I also ask another question? If I went to Germany and I started speaking German, will I be called a German or a Ugandan or a Kumam in this case? I will be called a Kumam, but maybe speaking German language. So in my opinion, the Kumams remain their Teker group. A Teker group, but speaking Luo language.
Okay, I'll come to the definition of a Teker immediately, but let me ask this. Comparing Kumam and being German might not be the best case, because Kumam is a cultural, social identity, while German is a national one. But I'll give this example. I know that my ancestry is South Sudan for sure, 100%. And now I'm in Kenya, okay? In terms of nationality, am I Kenyan or am I South Sudanese?
No, it's case of nationality now, because where you are Kenyan.
Correct.
But you came from South Sudan.
Yes, so I know where I came from.
Yes.
But I accept where I am.
Yes, you know where you are now, because I'm sure even if you went back to the reasons that you made you the Luo left Southern Sudan. And I'm sure if you went there, you may not even locate yourself exactly at the place, because there are other people now who must be living there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Now, if we relate that to Kumam, ancestry is a Teker. Where they find themselves now linguistically and in some sense cultural practice is Luo. But they are halfway in the middle.
Not cultural practice. I want to say, because I want to put myself clear. Yes, we speak Luo language, Luo dialect. I will call it dialect. Now, but with a Teker group, a Teker group that the Luo dialect are swallowed, and now speak Luo dialect, but they are members of the Teker group. Now, and that's why we remain Kumam, members of the Teker. And so that if you asked me where my roots are, I'm an Teker. And that's why for us, if I want to go, for example, you even we said, when you say Kumam, our leader is called Wona Teker. You can see our overall leader.
What is a teker?
A Teker, of course, a Teker is I won't say a big clan together, just as a clan. I would say the whole overall clan is a Teker. Because for me, even if I now to ask you, because if you're here, Kumam, and we're sitting together, we have maybe met in a town outside the Kabaramaido, and we are Kumam, because if you are speaking Kumam, I will quickly ask you, hey, my young man, a Teker ni en mene. I would ask you, but Teker ni en mene.
The Luo of Kenya, did you understand that? That's 100% Luo. Okay.
Yes.
A Teker ni en mene.
Teker ni mene. Then you say, oh, a Teker one tie inomu. Then I will tell you, I'm a Karuo. Tell you that is our Teker, and that is.
So,
and that's why we say we are Teker. I'm going to read you. Okay, that will say we are. If you went to the Iteso and ask them, they'll tell you we are a Teker group. You see the Karamojongo, they tell you we are Teker. That kind of thing. Now,
a Teker with, okay. Now, even you say that we speak Luo dialect, but if we look at a word like in counting, okay? A shell, a re, a dek, ongon, kany, kanyape. So it starts with Luo, at some point it crosses to Teso.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. But first of all, even month, let me tell you, if I were to use for the original calling of months in Kumam, oh my, they would all be like Ateso. But you know, as the language grew, people tended to use, which is the common language they are now using. You know, they are even, when we were writing, I'm sorry to divert you a bit, you know, I was among the people who were doing the review. There were 2 people who were translating the Kumam Bible. And we were 10 people who were doing review. I was the secretary of the review committee, Kumam Language Review, and we did it for over 15 years. Now, you'll find that there are some words that will begin to say that, but now these words people are not understanding. If you put it in the old way, it will look more Ateso way. The people of now will not understand what you're saying because they have a little lot swallowed into the Luo speaking. So you tend to use which word then could they understand? So you use that word because the language does what? Grows. So you'll find that actually the Kumam language has gone more to it. But also now you find that while the kids like that, you see the attacker group still have letters of the alphabet that are still the same. While we are speaking Luo dialect, when we are writing, you'll find that we lack letters that people use. For example, you use H, we don't have.
Yeah, but actually also do not.
Yes.
While like Kumam Chunypin, to me that's Luo.
Yes.
Even though it doesn't have a H, but actually also doesn't have a H.
Yes, Chunypin. Yes, Chunypin. We used to see without H, and then the other people, their dollars, have it.
Yeah, but then the Acholi, Lango don't have it.
Yes, Acholi Lango don't have. Yes, Acholi Lango we don't have. So and then I'm going to tell you that the Lango, and I can tell you, Lango is more onto us.
Is Lango Luo or a Teker?
Lango is a Teker.
The Lango people watching this, are you Luo or a Teker? I'll get to know when I get to the Lango.
The Lango people are the Teker.
So in your version, in your opinion, Lango and Kumam are Teker. But not Luo.
Not Luo.
Let's see if they will agree with that.
No, that one is...
Yeah, because we cannot speak.
No, we
Luo, maybe in Kenya and Kumam cannot speak on behalf of the Lango.
No, we not.
So the Lango will have to
say what
give an answer, right?
An answer. But sure, because you know this, our children who are going to come after us will want to know who are they, and sure we should be able to tell them that you came from Ethiopia, you are a Teker group. But now you speak a lot of Luo dialect.
Yeah, I have a question. The stalemate we have on Kumam, Ancestry being a Teker, language leaning more towards Luo. Now, this points to an assimilation, interaction, okay? But is this the only case, or do we have intermarriages?
Okay, now I don't want to say what the historians say.
Okay.
I want to say what I saw when I grew up. Okay, there is still, I want to say, intermarriages, and it went on, and our people who were telling us that, okay, the Langi, we started marrying the Langis, and Langis marrying us, and the language became that. But you know, there was sometimes back, the early 90s, the early years, there was a big fight between the Langis and the Kumams. Big fight, a big fight. That is the people. I was, I think, not born, I won't say, but they said the Langis could kill the Kumam, even children. If they phone you, they would fix you in a stump and leave you dead there. They killed women, and if you came to our land, some lands that cross to Lango side, you have bad names like a women.
Women, what does it mean?
Where many women were killed, so we killed a women. No, that's where the Langis had killed so many of the women. You know, women would be disadvantaged. Men would run and maybe leave them. When they come and find a woman, they kill them. So, and that shows you that again. But also, what caused a lot of Kumam the Luo language as getting to be taken to Kumam very much, because administratively, in the early 90s, Kumam was governed under Lango. They used to call it Lango Native Administration, LA. If you went to the district headquarters, if you went to the district headquarters, your houses. If I were to take you to the district headquarters, I would show you houses that you will find marks at the lower part of the building. They have written Lango Native Administration. You do find it printed there.
Yeah.
Then later on, I think when they, I don't know, I think they found these are the wrong group. We brought them there. Then again, we were shifted back to Teso. And that's why we had a lot of political.
This points to possibility, or this points to something I would call fact, that the Kumam are in the process of finding who they really are.
Yeah.
At some point, they were put under Lango, which took them administratively towards the LUO.
And then later on, they were
pushed
back
to Ateso.
That this way you belong.
Way back to Ateker. And now, where?
Okay, we were kept.
Now you just formed a new king.
No, so we were kept there until, I want to be honest, when I was already a big man working, and we were struggling to get ourselves. The challenge we had while we were called Iteso, the biggest challenge was that we were not getting sufficient service from the Iteso group in Soroti. First of Soroti, the Kumam say, and our people claim Soroti city as the Kumam city. And that fight, that's a new fight. A new fight which is there now. That's why even the Kumams had wanted to go and build their headquarters in Soroti city. Now that was bringing a new fight. Because that earlier on was the fight. People say, no. You know, from Aoja, up to Aoja.
No.
If you come, before you enter Soroti, there's a big swamp. I call it swamp lake, where you cross. That's called Aoja. And Kumam say Aoja is the boundary, their boundary with the Teso. Back this side coming this theirs. You go to Orungo. Orungo is where JJ Odoma and so on, these people. That Orungo part all the Kumam say is there. Is their land, their ancestral people. That's where they weigh all this. So that sort of thing kept on until, if I have to quote the president's statement, I was a translator that day when the president was giving us the first Kumam district, I want to call it, called Kabaramaido, the Uoinochero. You have not been to that, near the rock there, the one that goes towards Lango. And the president says, I am giving you this district, Kumam district. You actually would not qualify to have it by all the other standards that would be required for starting a new district. Except that I want you to be free from the Eteso whom you don't understand their language, but they are making you live with them together. And you come to Kabarmedo and speak your language. This is his word. Speak your, so, and the ones we all happy that okay now they have finally gotten themselves free and to speak their own language, Kumam.
Yeah, I will ask you two questions, but keep it brief because we should be going.
Okay.
Two versions that I got from Jopadola. You need to credit or discredit it on the word Kumam and the word Kaberamaido. Now, Kumam, what does mam mean in Ateso or in Kumam, the Kumam? Okay.
No.
In their version, it was this, that the brother of Adola, who was the founder of Jopadola, was called Okumu, which is a LUO name. As they were coming down, Okumu around this region met an Ateso woman. Okumu married an Ateso woman, and so because of this woman, Okumu remained behind as others proceeded. Now, when they later on came to ask, hey, our brother remained here with the woman here. And the woman said, Okumu mam, which means Okumu is not there. And thus came the word Kumam. Credit it or discredit it?
No. No. Oh, okay. While we say Kumam, this we call Kumam, the Eteso call us Ikokolemo. I don't know whether you have ever heard that in their conversation with the people. And for us, we think it's an abusive word. And because they say we stole and then ran the side from them. So that version of Guinea, people have always told stories. When I was with when I was in Lango officiating over some function, because of my position then, I was with the minister for finance, Matthias. Now the minister was talking to people and said, the Langis are part of the Bantus because they are the ones who produce the child, a woman, the man got a woman and remained there and produced twins. One closed that side, one remained here. People have always put those versions to try to say we are together. And if somebody, if a story is told,
discrediting,
no,
I'm
not. It's not true, and historically I cannot defend it.
Okay, and the word Kaberamaido, in the version, Kaberamaido means Kaberamaido. This place is good for groundnuts. I think in Uganda we call G-nuts. True, false?
Not true also.
So what is the meaning of the word Kaberamaido?
You know, people have always, many people who come here also say, oh, I think the name Kaberamaido is because it's good with genus. Five original that time back, there were no genus here. Genus came later on. And
so what's your meaning of Kaberamaido? Does it have a meaning?
No.
It doesn't?
No. No scripture meaning that I can defend. And because like you see, if you looked at the names, which we have here, just if my young man Onyenge was to take you to a very nearby distance here, you'd reach a place called Okapel. Okapel, just very near here. But again, if you got into a vehicle now and went after Oja, you're going to get Okapel.
Okay.
Now, after that, you go to Kalaki. Now, when you go again after Kumi and as you are going towards Palisa, you're going to get Kalaki. Our people were coming from that side, coming this side. But they use those names and they keep those names because now this called this Kalaki. Then as you come again, you call, like now there's a place there called Luala. Luala, as you come from Soroti, Luala after Tuboi, you find Luala. Now when you come down here, just after Kamarmadu Senior Secondary School, about 3 kilometers from here, you're going to find Luala. Those are names for our people. They come because they use the same names. They say, we are from Luala. These villages also we are people who live, you call them Luala. So that kind of thing.
Okay.
This thing of Kamarmadu is good for groundnuts.
You don't agree with it?
No, these are just things that people, because granite, a bear, then Kamaido, they have just tried to.
And Maido is genus,
Genus,
sure, right?
Maido is genus.
Okay,
And then
so
I say, you say someone says Kabera Maido. That is, it comes at a bear, Maido. It's not there.
okay, and would you confirm that intermarriages between Ateker and Luo could have also led to Kumam?
As a language, yes.
But intermarriages goes down to blood. It's just a language.
Yes, the marriage goes to blood, and you can now. That means if we are putting like that, it leads to Kumam. That means yes, I can now say Kumam are related to the Ateker and are related to the Luo. Yes, that one I can say. That
But,
means
yeah, but
they are
was
related.
there intermarriage in the first place? Do you agree with this version?
Yes, the historian says so. The historian says so. I was not that time, and I only believe in what they say, and that's from the time. And also, then later on, we now saw it. But you know that if
But the history that is taught within the Kumam people, leave alone the historians, that could be from someone else like me, the stories that are told from generation to generation among Kumam, do you have this element of intermarriage? Or it's just
no,
it's from
historians. If you ask the other people from the group, from the village, without asking us who went to school, who have read the things, they will simply tell you we are Kumams, and they will tell you we are eaters of Finnish, something like that, and Finnish, but a diluted society do not understand those people, something like that. And one does not take trouble. And for initiative like this are very good because it makes people to try to track and try to tell what we came from this group and so on. Because I can assure you, before the Idi Amin fight, I was already an old man. I was already a young man who was called a man. From Lango, going back that side, there are tattoos, marks. And their marks were majorly on the faces. And it was easier for the Idi Amin soldiers to identify them using those marks and kill them. No, this is Mucholi, this is Mulango. The Kumams and the Eteso used not to have tattoos on the faces, but instead they had them at the waist for girls, for women.
How do you call the West? How do you call the West?
Pierre.
Okay.
And you call it like that, of course that's true.
No, but the funny bit is that here when I'm around, people say, Pierre lit, but they mean my waist is painful.
Yes.
While for us, Pierre is Dudu.
Oh, Dudi can.
Dudi, yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, but that is how this language is so funny that that's why the difference is some people speaking actually tough. The Kumams cannot follow. And especially now, if people talking a lul, their upper part. Then but you seem to be following it well. Thank you for talking to me.
Okay.
And I think what I've given you, other people can talk about it and challenge it. But I think basically from what I know, and I've been following quite a lot, I still say, okay, Kumams must be, yes, related to the Luo, in one or the other because of intermarriage blood, but the Kumams are also related to Ateker group
from the
Ateso blood. That one I can say.
Okay.
So I can say half.
Okay. Apoyo ba.
Apoyo bino.
The debate continues. Luo or Ateker? We remain on the fence as of this moment. My name is Kogod Peter Luo, Ambassador, Eastern Central Africa, and we take this debate to the highest and the highest of the seats of the Kumam Kingdom. Thank you so much, and bye-bye. Kumam nyai.
Enyai.
Kumam nyai.
Enyai naka.
Okay.